Have you ever stared at a faded, cracked mosaic from 1,000 years ago and wished you could see it as it was meant to be seen?
What if I told you we could peel back the layers of time, not with a paintbrush, but with pixels?
Today, we're diving into the incredible world of Byzantine Digital Restoration, where ancient art meets cutting-edge technology.
Imagine standing inside the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul.
Sunlight streams through the high windows, illuminating vast golden mosaics. But centuries of wear, damage, and even being plastered over have taken their toll. Some figures are missing, colors are muted, and entire scenes are fragmented. This is where the magic begins.
Digital restoration isn't about slapping on a fresh coat of digital paint. It's a meticulous, detective-like process.
So how does it work? It starts with data, and lots of it.
Researchers use a technique called photogrammetry, taking thousands of high-resolution photos from every conceivable angle.
These images are then fed into powerful software that stitches them together to create an incredibly detailed 3D model of the artwork.
Think of it like a digital clone of the real thing, capturing every crack, every chip, and every subtle variation in the surface.
Once we have this digital twin, the real detective work starts. Art historians and computer scientists team up. They analyze historical texts, old drawings, and even other surviving mosaics from the same period to understand what the missing parts might have looked like. They study the chemical composition of the remaining pigments to digitally recreate the original vibrant colors. This isn't guesswork.
It's a deeply informed, scholarly reconstruction.
Let's look at a specific example: the Deesis mosaic in the Hagia Sophia. It's one of the most famous Byzantine artworks showing Christ with the Virgin Mary and John the Baptist. Sadly, the lower half of the mosaic is almost completely lost.
Through digital restoration, researchers have been able to propose what this lost section might have looked like,
based on the posture of the figures and similar compositions found elsewhere. They can digitally fill in the missing tesserae, those tiny cubes of glass or stone following the original, patterns and flow. The result is breathtaking. Suddenly, you see the full, powerful composition as the Byzantine artist intended. But digital restoration does more than just fill in the gaps. It allows us to see these artworks in ways that are impossible in real life. Imagine virtually flattening a curved dome mosaic onto a 2D plane to study the composition without distortion. Or using multispectral imaging to see sketches and changes made by the original artists, hidden beneath the final layer. This technology reveals the artist's creative process, their hesitations, and their genius. It's like having an art history lesson directly from the master himself, 1,000 years later. One of the most exciting aspects is virtual reality. You can now put on a headset and be transported back to the 12th century. You can walk through a Byzantine church, not as it is today, but as it was in its prime. You can get up close to the mosaics on the highest vaults, seeing details no visitor on the ground could ever appreciate. This isn't just for scholars. It makes this incredible heritage accessible to everyone, everywhere. It's a way to preserve not just the art, but the experience of the art. Of course, this field is not without its debates. How much reconstruction is too much? When does restoration become artistic interpretation? These are important ethical questions. The goal is never to replace the original. The physical, time-worn artifact is irreplaceable. Instead, digital restoration acts as a companion piece, a scholarly tool that helps us understand and appreciate the original on a deeper level. It's a non-invasive way to explore possibilities without ever touching the fragile surface of the artwork itself. Think about sites that are difficult to access, perhaps due to political instability or their remote location. Digital archives of these places are becoming modern-day libraries of Alexandria. They ensure that even if the physical site is damaged or lost, its cultural memory, its artistic brilliance, is preserved for future generations. For example, the stunning mosaics of the Kora Church, also in Istanbul, have been meticulously documented. These digital records are now an invaluable resource for study and appreciation, regardless of the building's physical state. The technology is constantly evolving. We've seen the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning to help identify patterns in damaged mosaics and suggest more accurate reconstructions. I can analyze vast data sets of Byzantine art to learn the rules of the style, how a fold of a robe is typically depicted, or the specific way an eye is drawn. This can help restorers make even more informed decisions, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So the next time you see a Byzantine mosaic, remember that there's a whole other dimension to it waiting to be unlocked. We are living in a remarkable era where technology is not the enemy of the past, but its greatest ally. We can now reverse the ravages of time, not by changing the past, but by illuminating it in ways we never thought possible. We are building a bridge across the centuries, allowing the golden age of Byzantium to shine brighter than ever before. What a journey, right? From tiny stone cubes to complex digital algorithms, it's all in service of bringing these timeless masterpieces back to life. I hope this gave you a new appreciation for both ancient art and modern tech. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories where history and technology collide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.